Hello, welcome to True Crime and Tarot. I am Natalie, and today's case is based on a young guy who's called Stephen Earl Kraft Jr. He was born on January the 11th, 1989, and his place of birth was Milwaukee in Wisconsin. His hair color is sandy brown, and his eyes are green. And the time of his disappearance, his height was 5'2", and he was weighing only 100 pounds. Stephen was last known to be wearing a blue to green Charlotte Hornets basketball team jacket and a tan white striped t-shirt and a tan parachute pants and black boots. He has ties to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Lexington, and Kentucky. Stephen was last seen near his residence in Benton Township in Michigan on February the 15th, 2001. Stephen was out walking his two dogs between the hours of 7 and 8 p.m., and he had failed to return home for dinner. Although his two dogs were subsequently located, Stephen has not been seen since. If anyone has any information concerning Stephen or the case, then to please contact a Crimes Against Children investigator that is local to yourselves, or you may contact the Benton Township Police Department in Michigan at 1-269-926-8221 or Crime Stoppers office in Detroit. The community is keeping Stephen's story alive and is hoping that one day the truth about what happened is to be finally discovered. I know most of the people around here about it, and they care about him too. Maybe we'll go to the vigil tonight, said Fred Krolczyk. He lives on Holly Street, and he remembers when Stephen went missing. It was February the 15th, 2001. A cold winter's night was the start of this cold case. A 12-year-old boy goes missing. That boy was Stephen. Fred Krolczyk had said, I would hope that if someone did know something out there, that they would say something. Stephen left his home on Holly Street, and according to the police, he was taking his two dogs between 7 p.m. and 8 p.m. His family was expecting him to come back for dinner, but however, his meal had turned cold. That night, he never came back. There's just a lot of sad news, and no one wants to have something like that to happen, says Mark Spinolia. He also lives along Holly Street. Stephen had vanished without a trace. Krolczyk had said, hopefully, somehow, he returns with us, and if not, well, he is not with us anymore. Then I know his family will see him in heaven if he's not here anymore. Nobody really knows that for sure. What is known for sure that is the police are still getting tips on the cold case, and according to our reporting partners at the Herald Palladium in Benton Township, police are working with the FBI and keeping the case open, and they are looking into some new information that is coming out and that is coming in. Stephen would now, as it would be in his 30s, and a family is looking for some closure, and the community is hoping for the best. Krolczyk had said, all I can say is that hope, you can hope something changes. Stephen's footprints led past the Harbour Haven Ministries on the Irving Street on the block 1 south of Holly Drive late in the evening, 3 days after Stephen's disappearance. His older dog, a German Shepherd, a Chow mix crossed, returned home, and the dog led his owners to a nearby pond, but there was no evidence of Stephen's whereabouts that was located in that area. The following day, a 6-month-old German Shepherd puppy was located near Blue Creek, a mile and a half north of Stephen's home. Stephen completed a 5-day suspension from Hull Elementary School shortly before his disappearance. The school administration stated that Stephen defended himself against another student during an altercation, and both boys was suspended from school. And he is described as a good student and in the innocent. It marked the first time that he was disciplined. Stephen was in his 6th grade at the time of his disappearance, and his teachers and his classmates stated that he was a very quiet boy who had a few friends, and he lived on a dead-end street in Benton Harbor. Stephen has relatives living near to the neighbours as well, and near his home, and they're very well-known neighbours. And his house was torn down in 2005, and his parents have since moved to Hagerstown Township, Michigan in May 2001, though authorities searched for Miles and Blue Creek as well. And as the pond behind the Harbour Haven Ministries, but they failed to produce any evidence of Stephen's whereabouts. In November of 2002, investigators searched another area of the woods, and that was near southwestern Michigan as well, Regional Airport, in November 2002, but there was no evidence that was located. But in February 2004, Stephen was reportedly seen at Midway Airport in Chicago and Illinois, but the individual cited turned out to be someone else. Stephen has a small red birthmark on the left of his ribcage. Jason Joyner, Stephen's older cousin, had said, "It would be almost bet my life it was at foul play." Jason remembers that frantically searching the woods and surrounding areas in the hours and the days after Stephen had been missing. He said, "I remember he was very rambunctious, outgoing, and very adventurous." Jason had lived in Coloma at the time, and he remembered getting on a phone call from a family member with the news that Stephen had disappeared. And Jason has said that he had rushed down to Benton Township to go and help with the search. And this is where I come in, and this is where I wanted to do a tarot reading to see what they have to say. I was very inclined, and drawn to this case to do a tarot reading. So there was 4 specific questions I asked. Number 1, what happened to Stephen? 2, who was involved in his disappearance? 3, where is Stephen? 4, what is the final outcome to be for Stephen's final case? Okay, first one, what happened to Stephen Earl Kraft Jr.? First card then was the reverse chariot. So there was a car that had lost control. There was a lot of overwhelmness, and there was a mistake. There was a lot of car issues that was involved. Reverse 8 of Wands. There was a struggle, chaos, panicking, and there was a third party involvement. Reverse Page of Swords. Stephen had got caught off guard by an argumentative person that was very rude and very vindictive, who was looking for trouble. There was injuries that was caused by a sharp object. Reverse Knight of Pentacles. There was jealousy and also getting done what had happened by a third party and what that third party had planned. Reverse Wheel of Fortune. There was a lot of struggles, and there was a bad mistake that was involved. Reverse Sun. There was sadness, and there was unhappiness and some negativity. Reverse 3 of Pentacles. There was carelessness, there was lack of motivation and lack of interest. 5 of Wands. There was conflict, commotion, fighting, and defensiveness. Reverse Temperance. There was inappropriate behaviour and recklessness, and there was a lot of consciousness and consequences. Reverse King of Cups. There was an immature male who was very unhappy. They were very bitter, uncaring, unkind, that may have been involved in a rape, murder, or both, and that may have also been a con man as well. Reverse Ten of Wands. Stephen had got taken advantage of. There was also someone who um, took on too much than they could handle at the time. Ace of Wands. There was some news that it came out and there was action that was taken. Reverse Tower. There was an end to difficulties. Someone or a few people had got away with the disappearance of Stephen. Reverse Six of Swords. There was restrictions, hopelessness, and running away, but there was no way to run. Who was involved in the disappearance of Stephen Earl Kraft Jr.? Reverse King of Swords. There was an immature male that's very ruthless, uncaring, controlling, brutal, violent, and also could be a criminal. Three of Swords. There was the feelings of being hurt, being in pain, where there is a lot of sadness and sorrow. Four Cups. There was a sense of detachment, being withdrawn, and unaware. Ten of Pentacles. There was some success, security, and protection. There was owning a property or a land or has some type of family business. Magician. There is a strong, powerful male that had control and had a lot of ideas and plans that took action and was very motivated and determined to do what they done. Four Swords. There was a lot of overwhelmness, taking some time out and gone into the self-protection mode. World. There was being around family and friends. Reverse Hangman. There was a lot of mistakes that this person had done. Also, there was a lot of secrets and hiding things. Reverse King of Wands. There was a very aggressive male who's very controlling, very risky, vicious, that can be a pushover and very argumentative. Where is Stephen Earl Kraft Jr.? Reverse High Priestess. He's been left alone and is isolated, and there is to be secrets that is to be revealed. Reverse Seven of Wands. There was foul play and sharing a territory with someone. Empress. There's a female that is kind, protective, generous, and nurturing that may be close to the area where Stephen is. Reverse Four Pentacles. There is a lot of sharing and financial insecurities. Ace of Pentacles. There is some stability and a new business not far from where Stephen is. What is the final outcome to be for Stephen's case? Death. There is to be an ending for a new beginning. Also, there is a family secret or a shock to be revealed, and there is to be accepting and releasing things. Reverse Eight of Swords. There is to be a lot of doors opening in the case, and people is to be resigning, and there is someone that is eventually coming clean, and there is to be an acquittal. Nine Pentacles. There is to be some property or land that is to be investigated. There is also to be a lot of wealth for the family and some security as well for the future. Reverse Page of Pentacles. There is someone that had learning difficulties and they had some sense of immaturity as well, and there was a risk taker that was involved in this in some way. Two Pentacles. There is to be some juggling with finances and there is to be some journalism that is involved. Reverse Justice. There is someone to be treated unfairly and be victimized. Reverse Two of Cups. There is to be some unhappy news or conversations and someone being hot and cold. Reverse Five of Swords. There is to be some exposing of a criminal behavior. There is to be an arrest and also a burial. Reverse Page of Cups. There is to be some heartbreak, abuse, immaturity, and a stalker that is involved. Strength. There is to be bravery, courage, and a victory. Reverse Moon. There is hidden things that's coming to light and making people feel a bit overwhelmed. Reverse Two of Swords. There's a lot of emotions of feeling torn apart and hanging on to pain and hurt. Seven of Cups, there is to be some decisions and priorities, and also someone has a hidden identity. Reverse Eight of Cups, there is a wild goose chase, but there is to be a reunion, and there is a distorted body image to be faced. Seven of Swords, there is someone that has been plotting and planning and doing some mind games, and they are risk taking. Okay, then, so that is the case of Stephen. If there is any other cases you'd like me to do as well and work on, then feel free to comment in the comment section box below. Um, and if you do enjoy my content, please like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification. It will help the analytics and for everything, in the community of all these missing people to get down to the bottom, and get across to people to actually look into certain areas and certain people as well. I hope you enjoy.